Hey guys, Fat Tom here again. How you guys doing today? Hey, listen, I had a conversation with a friend of mine yesterday. We were talking about intermittent fasting, and she had mentioned to me that she was doing intermittent fasting too. Yeah, you know who you are. And I said, how much weight have you lost? And she said, well, I don't really know. And I said, well, how do you know if you're doing any good? She says, by feel. I said, what do you mean? She said, by how my clothes feel, and and how they fit, and how I'm moving around. And I said, well, how many calories are you eating? She says, well, I think I'm eating around 1,000 a day. And I said, that may actually not be enough for you. And I talked to her about the Fitness Pal program, My Fitness Pal on Apple Store. If you have the other phones, I can never remember what it is, but you know what I'm saying. It's on Google or Google Play or whatever. Anyhow, the great thing about that program is that you can put in exactly what you're eating. It knows all the name brands and everything of, all the fast food joints, and Sara Lee, everything, it has it in there. And it gives you the per servings and how much calories or how many calories are in those servings. So you can keep track of that on a daily basis. The beautiful thing about that, and I will get back to her story in a moment, the beautiful thing about that is you put in how much you weigh currently, you put in how much you want to weigh, and you put in how fast you want to lose that, like 2 pounds a week, pound and a half a week, whatever. And then it will first tell you how many calories you need to maintain your current body weight, and then it will tell you how many calories you need to maintain in order to lose that desired amount of loss per week, a pound, pound and a half, whatever it may be. So you start putting in your foods into this thing, and it'll add up all the calories for you. But what I'm finding out now is that for my body weight line, I've mentioned this before, I'm at like 263, 264. I need to take in 2,500 calories just to maintain this weight. But if I want to lose weight at the rate of 2 pounds a week, I have to take in no more than 1,550. But a key to that is don't take in 1,000 if you're supposed to do 1,550. If you're supposed to do 1,550, do that, because your body may go into starvation mode, and then it won't lose any weight for you at all. You'll just be stuck. So when I was talking to her, back to her situation, I had asked her if she's stepping onto the scale to see what she's actually lost, and she says, no, I don't like the scale. I said, a lot of people don't like the scale, but you need it to know. I said, how do you really know that you're losing any weight? And again, she mentioned, just by feel. So it got me thinking that there's probably a lot of people that may do that. You may be afraid to step on the scale because, as time goes on, we all get a little heavier, not all of us, but some of us. And getting onto the scale is depressing. There's no doubt about that. But you can get some enthusiasm and you can get upbeat if you're stepping on the scale and you're seeing a little bit fall off from time to time, and then you can have something to be excited about, and then you've got something to work towards. So I recommend this. Use MyFitnessPal or something like that to calculate your calories. And by all means, weigh yourself at least once a week, twice a week, 3 times a week, whatever it is. Consistently weigh yourself under the same circumstances. I weigh myself in the morning. First thing, just before I step into the shower, here's how much I weigh. I probably weigh myself every day, but I do that so I can kind of regulate if I'm doing good or bad. So I'm being a little bit too tight about it, I think, but that's okay. You may want to just step on once a week. I recommend at least twice a week. That way, in the middle of the week, if you see things are going a certain way, it makes you want to step back and look at your program, see what you've been taking in, see if you've been cheating. Have you been adding a little extra in there? Have you not been calculating calories properly or whatever? But just be a little more accurate about it. But once you start to see, 2 pounds, 3 pounds, 4 pounds come off, and you hit that 10-pound mark, you should be getting excited, and it should give you confidence and hope that you can do it. I'm sure you can. If I'm doing it right now, and I'm just praying that I can continue to do it until I get down to my goal weight, of which is 200 pounds. I got a long, long way to go. It might take me a year, maybe even a year and a half to get there, but I'm not suffering. I'm not dying. I'm actually noticing some things about me that are much better. Number one is that little bit of swelling that I used to have. Well, it was a lot of bit of swelling that I used to have around my tops of my socks. That's pretty much vanished. Not too bad. I noticed a couple of places, one on my arm and one on the back of my other arm, that were kind of scaly, that were there for years and years and years. And, I'm looking at them now and they're almost gone. So something I'm doing has changed. Now, is it that I'm reducing my calorie intake and my body is responding differently by insulin and or blood sugar? Or is it that I'm reducing a lot of the red meat that I've been eating and I'm reducing some, inflammation or things like that? I don't know. But things are changing for the better. I can actually see in the mirror that my face is thinning a little bit. And when I had a dress shirt on yesterday, I actually had a little bit of room to put my fingers in there, sort of, like that all the time. So definitely a lot of change. But it only comes to the fact that I like to step on the scale and I like to keep track of those calories. That's the only way that I can know. So I do try to get foods that are filling. Like I would much rather sit down with a huge tomato for 30 calories or something, slice it all up, salt and pepper that thing and eat that, than to grab a candy bar with 200 calories or 300 calories and it's loaded with sugar and everything else. And plus that, to me, tomatoes are filling. They're almost like eating meat, so they really satisfy me. So you might find that there might be a vegetable that really satisfies you too, and can replace a lot of anxiety when you're really hungry and you need to be you need to feel like you're full. But keep track of your weight, keep track of your calories, because the scale is the judge and jury of whether you're working it or not. And when you step on that, you can start making adjustments for that. So anyway, just a thought I had, just something to give you more confidence so you don't get into a situation of depression. You don't say, hey man, I'm not losing anything. And you're not losing because you're not hitting the right calories. And I found that out the hard way. And the second reason is you're not keeping track of how much you weigh to make sure if you're making progress or not. And if you're not making progress, it doesn't mean give up. It means find out something that you can change. Post up something on one of my videos here. Ask me a question. I'll tell you what I'm doing, and hopefully it will help. Thanks.